Thank you for joining us for this year's Week of Giving at Southern Wesleyan University. We're spending some time with Dr. Todd Voss, looking back over his 10 years here at the school. Dr. Voss, you came from a background in student life, and that's been one of your focuses in your tenure here. What are some of the changes and growth you've seen in student life that have made lives for students here a lot better?
Well, I would say that most people would probably ask me that question and expect me to say the Joyner-Hilson Residence Hall Complex, 238 beds. It provides something that answers a lot of questions for students. When you think about where they live and how many hours that they're in the facility versus how many hours they're someplace else, and the type of interaction we want to see happen in the building of community, of a Christ-centered community, a building can do a lot of that if it's designed properly. I'm definitely proud of that facility. I'm proud of what it's doing from a programmatic perspective, from a community building perspective, from a leadership perspective. But there are so many things that led up to that project. And when you think about all of the other elements that have to happen in student life, for a student to have a well-rounded experience in a college environment, that becomes one of those sort of telltale signs that things are pretty healthy. Now, you have to recognize first that students are going to complain about three things on every college campus. It's just a universal fact, and it's true in Mexico and Japan, just like it's true in the United States. Food service, parking, and then classes, and how can I get them and all that. And so it's interesting when you start looking at that and you think about the colleges that don't pay attention to those. They say, well, that's just the way it is. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. When I came, there was enough concern and consternation about food service not really attending to the changes in students' dining interests. And so we started to look pretty carefully at that. And that's one of the first things I did in coming here, was to interview quite a variety of food service providers, and finally making a selection on one that I felt was where we would be a larger fish in a regular-sized pond rather than a teeny fish in a huge ocean. And that makes a difference because the food service staff become a part of the community. They listen to students and they try to adapt to what they are after. So that was a big turning point. Next turning point, I think, then came when we started to look at there really is no place on campus that students can call their living room, their home. So we started to focus on some renovation and then the move for Blue Hill Coffee and Tea Company. The idea of a student-run business is fantastic, but the idea of students, peers serving peers, and having a place for people to hang out where it's theirs, and they feel they can invite a faculty member, an alum, outside community member, but they feel like that's where they can be, and they're comfortable being there. That was a lot of work, but wow, from a covert perspective, when they came back the next year and when new students came, they just gravitated there. I used to say you could shoot a cannon through the student life building and never hit a student. And now I wouldn't allow a cannon nearby because the place is popular and it's big for them because, again, it's a way to start creating an environment that allows for community development. And that's where real lifelong friends are formed.
Thank you so much for your support during Southern Wesleyan University's Week of Giving this year. Every gift, no matter how large or small, makes a huge difference in the lives of students. God bless, and we'll see you soon.